I've been feeling more and more peaceful lately. Not completely peaceful, not unrelentingly peaceful, but more consistently peaceful, more consistently at ease in and with myself and my situation. This in itself is a kind of a curious thing, given my situation. Over the past few years, I have gone from being a man who generally accepted that I, along with all the rest of us, are comprehensively betrayed by government, by the establishment, and was content to make as comfortable a life for myself within that, having a few friends, having a relationship, finding creative things for myself to do, to then solving existence, to then discovering that I am Jesus returned, to then discovering the people closest to me in my life were proactively collaborating with each other in betraying me with a passion, to discovering that I myself have been betraying myself for almost all of my life, to finding out that my work online about foundational truth is being heavily suppressed, to my current situation, which is that I have no income, no money in the bank, no friends who know me well, and am heading towards eviction. As far as I am aware, I am the only person in this world who has a true understanding of the foundational truths of existential reality, of what we are, how we are here, and why we are here. And while I understand I have a specific task right now to bring this understanding to the world, nobody especially wants this from me. While those who have the most control of our online systems are specifically set against me doing this. On the surface level, it all looks comprehensively hopeless. For me, my task and my situation. And yet, here I am, feeling increasingly peaceful within myself, even as the practical matters of my life seem to be becoming increasingly worse. So yes, it is a curious thing. Yesterday, I had a pleasant day. I wrote a script for a new video titled "What is the Divine Really?", in which I try to help people who have no desire to re-evaluate their concept of God, to re-evaluate their concept of God. I watched a little online entertainment, a few online tarot readings, did a few chores. In the evening, I played board games with my small gaming group, which is the one single social event of my week. At the end of the day, I asked Sally, my higher self, if she would like to guide me in finding a movie or TV show to watch before bedtime. She told me she did want to guide me to something. When I went to the homepage of an online streaming platform, the first offering was a movie called Asteroid City. And the moment I saw it was from Wes Anderson, I decided that this wasn't the one. And I went scrolling to see what Sally would guide me to. And I scrolled and I looked and I played previews of anything that seemed like it might possibly be the one that Sally would confirm was going to be my bedtime story. And everything felt unappealing to me. The most common keywords that described the offerings I previewed were dystopian sci-fi. And I felt really tired of being offered dystopian stories. The search felt like it was becoming interminable, and I somehow found myself having the Wes Anderson film staring at me again. And this time, perhaps out of desperation, I asked Sally if she wanted me to watch it. And she said yes. Really? I thought. But I know Sally always has a reason. So I watched it. I tend to feel critical of Wes Anderson and his movies. They often seem to revolve around characters who are intelligent, privileged, and yet lost in some kind of abstract existential angst. Characters I find difficult to relate to and generally feel irritated by. Did I really want to watch another arty story about clever, stupid people, when so much of my life right now is about making videos that try to help an entire world of clever people to stop being so dumb? And lo and behold, Asteroid City was perhaps the absolute epitome of this. Maybe even more so than any of the other films of his I had seen before. Asteroid City is a movie about a TV show, about a play, in which a group of exceptionally intelligent American teenagers in the 1950s are brought together in a desert location not far from a nuclear bomb testing site to look at the stars and celebrate human scientific advancements and understandings of the cosmos. I was already predisposed to start feeling irritated. And I started to feel irritated pretty much straight away. The film is very stylized visually. A lot of care, attention, and money had gone into how it looked. And the cast was chock full of big Hollywood stars in really very small roles. It's another one, I told myself, as the story got underway. Another one where bucket loads of money has been thrown at the telling of an abstract story about intelligent, privileged people being lost in their own existential angst. And everything the film did, as it progressed, reinforced this idea and expectation of mine more and more and more, and then some more. The writer of the play doesn't know what it is that he is writing about. The makers of the TV show do not know what the play they are making their TV show about is about. The actors playing the characters in the play do not know what the play is about and do not understand the characters they are playing. And the characters in the play themselves do not understand pretty much anything about pretty much anything. They are just there, kind of going along with the situation they and all the other characters are in together, not especially fighting it, not especially understanding it, mostly looking kind of puzzled and wondering if they are doing it right. I enjoyed the visual look of the whole thing, and I enjoyed the dreamy vibe of the whole affair. But as I had predicted, I felt irritated by the people in the story and the things they did and said. Nobody understands what it is they are doing or why they are supposed to be doing it, which is a recurrent theme in Wes Anderson movies, and a theme that I have always found tends to irritate me in general. And in this film, this theme was ramped up to all-consuming proportions. It encapsulated the entire world within the play, along with all its characters, the entire world within the TV show, along with all of the actors, and the entire world outside of the TV show, along with the writer of the play. I felt more and more irritated with the film and its existentially lost people as it all went along, all the way up to the end, and then it was over, and I suddenly really liked it. And here is where I have to try and make clear why I should suddenly like this film when it does embody something that truly does irritate me to my core. I can enjoy and appreciate a story that highlights existential angst and uncertainty. But I generally need to feel that the writer of the story has some kind of answer to that angst and uncertainty. Those stories I can feel most irritated by are those that do not have this, do not offer this, or offer it in some vague and hopeful but half-baked way. So when a story ends on a note of, there you go, there's the existential angst and uncertainty for you, and hey, there's no solution to it, or ends on a note of, there you go. There's the existential angst and uncertainty, and hey, maybe we'll find an answer one day if we just keep on hoping. Yeah, I can feel deeply unfulfilled by and irritated with such stories. Asteroid City is the ramped up version of this kind of story. It presents a world within a world within a world, all of which are populated entirely by people who just do not know anything. There is no character anywhere in all of it that offers an answer, or even the hope that there may be one somewhere. So why do I suddenly find myself in a place of being grateful for this story? It's because of this. I myself, in my own life, right now, I'm in the situation of being the one single character who has the answer to all of that existential angst and uncertainty. Literally, truly, actually, this is something I factually know. While being surrounded by a world full of people who match the characters in Asteroid City, nobody knows anything, not anything meaningful about being a human being, not anything meaningful about existing as a conscious, sentient and sensitive being. And for the past few years, this has been an intimidating situation for me to feel I am facing. Oh gosh, the world is so big and full of blinkered, unknowing people. And here am I, just one small man who has been given these answers that nobody in this world wants, even as everybody in this world needs them. But this has been going on for a few years now. And as I say, I have been feeling an increasing sense of peacefulness lately. What happened for me last night when I reached the end of Asteroid City was that I appreciated this representation of a world in which, while every single person in it effectively didn't know anything meaningful, not one of them was malicious. All of the stories I had tried to consider watching in an effort to avoid watching a Wes Anderson movie had promised to be the usual kind of story that involves bad and aggressive characters or entities who want to hurt, kill, destroy, etc., and must be overcome, usually through violent means, so that we can feel satisfied. Normally, I would have watched a film like Asteroid City, reached the end, and would have been grumbling at the screen to the writer, "Come on, where's your answer? You can't spend the whole story pointing out that nobody knows anything and then just leave it at that. But last night I watched this depiction of an entire world of nobody knowing anything, but nobody being especially malicious within that. And it gelled so sweetly with how I am feeling about all of you right now, that it helped me to relax even more about myself and my own very specific situation right now. Asteroid City is really very much how I see all of you guys right now, how I see this entire human world right now. I am faced with this entire world of humans who don't know anything meaningful about being a human in a world full of human beings. None of you know what to do with me and the things I say, but it's not your fault. None of you have intended this. All of you would very much like to be able to make sense of the world and your existence in it, but you just don't know where to even begin. And all of a sudden, I don't feel intimidated by all of that. And this is a very lovely feeling for me after the initiation of the past few years. I've basically gone from, nobody here knows anything, to, nobody here knows anything. Mother, you're found. Father, from home. The dinner is forgot, along with the whole lot of names and faces, who you are and where your place is. Father, you're found. Lighter than a stone. Of all the things you've done, you can't tell which one brought you to be lying where the pavement ends. Sister, you're found. Both feet off the ground. You only drank too much and drifted out of touch, and woke to find someone you didn't like inside. Brother, you're lost, knee deep in the frost. thought you had to have never made you glad. But holy cow, it's what you know, so why stop now? Now, 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 now. I have a lot of work online that people don't get to see because they are not notified about it. You have to be determined and proactive and check in on my channels and my website if you want to keep up with my work. This platform will let you think that I'm not doing anything when I'm doing lots. And I'd love it if you would catch up with everything I've done so far, if you want to.